Not the healthiest TikTok, I've got to admit. One of my favourite things I've made on this playlist. They look a little bit like dog treats. That's a wrap. Hello everybody, it's Barry here. Hope you're well. Today we are trying another 3 viral TikTok recipes. But first, Pug. We are doing this hopefully sort of savoury pinwheel thing, which is just 3 ingredients, except one of the ingredients is a seasoning, which is not an ingredient because I haven't got it here, so I'm going to have to make it myself, which is supposed to be quite good. There's some sort of Starbucks clone that's trending as well, so we're going to do that. I haven't been in there myself, but I do know it is on there because I've seen it on like marketing and advertising that they're doing. And also we're doing something called Slutty cheesecake bars, which we are going to start with first of all. It needs the most work, and it looks extremely cheeky indeed. Alright, now you're supposed to have a bit of an overhang all the way around. Now I don't know if it's just me, but I quite like to just have one little bit there that I can lift it. I find that, you know, I kind of trust it, it works for me. If it doesn't, don't do that, but it's never failed for me before. Here we have a block of refrigerated cookie dough. We do not want that in there though. So this stuff's in most supermarkets, and that is very cold. I probably should have got them out about 10 minutes ago to room temperature, so we'll basically wait for 10 minutes to squish them down into place. There is a step we can do. Oreos go on this. This is very TikTok-y. Are Oreos getting smaller, or is it just me? Yeah, my top tip is definitely get this out about 10 minutes before you actually want to use it. And obviously just press in the 2 bars so they're a consistent height and they merge together. Oreos go on this now, apparently. But not all of them, just like a courtesy layer, like a little bit of Oreo gravel, if you will. Actually, to be fair, that would be my dream driveway. Anyhow, this gets drenched now with a cheesecake layer that gets baked, so let's get that ready. Nice and simple, it all comes together in this bowl. First up is some, I'm gonna call it Philadelphia. They used to get in touch every year about doing a brand deal, and I think I said something about them being quite expensive before, and then after I said that, they never got in touch again. We're gonna add some sugar with it, some vanilla, a little bit of salt, and 2 large eggs. And the shell is optional, I've decided not to go for it today. Nice low speed, like you're going for a jog. Start slow and build up, don't pull a muscle. And that is basically the cheesecake coating. That is gonna drench on top of those Oreo pieces. Ooh. And I need to check the top, is that the thing? Check the top to make sure. I believe that we put some more Oreo on top of this in a bit, because I have got some left over. Ah, amazing. That is very cheeky. Yeah, pour it over the Oreo layer and top with more crushed Oreos. I mean, I hope the Oreos don't burn. That's my only concern. I mean, this is very nutritious, but I assume that's all gonna stick to that cheesecake as it bakes. So yeah, well, that is it. It goes in the oven now for 40 minutes. 40 minutes! Yes, just to set that cheesecake. Apparently, if it has a little wobble in there, that's fine. Everyone loves a little wobble, but anyhow, it is not done at that point. Oh no, we'll come to that in a bit. All right, so this next thing is called bagel roll-ups. And plot twist, it doesn't actually contain any bagels. I mean, it sort of apparently should resemble that, or maybe just like, yeah, just carpet rolled up by the end, but it involves a tortilla, some cream cheese again, and we're gonna go for plain because we add something called everything seasoning. Now, I can't get that in the UK. You can order it online. We have something very similar that I nearly bought called everyday seasoning, but that contains other things like paprika and other different herbs, which I love paprika, but I just have to stay true. So I found out a way, apparently, this might be wrong, to make my own everything seasoning. So to clarify, we need some cream cheese, we'll come back to that in a bit, and some tortillas. That's a wrap. But before we do, let's do Pug Watch. You can just see his little tongue there. All right, Boston? This everything seasoning is like more like a garlicky onion and a lot of sesame going in there, which is kind of like with the whole bagel theme thing. Maybe it's something that goes on bagels often. I don't know, I've never generally used it. Hopefully you guys can help me out. So I've got standard sesame seeds, black sesame seeds, poppy seeds, garlic granules, and some onion flakes. Now these, they're way too chunky, so if I'm gonna stick that in these things, it might be a little bit overpowering. So we're gonna whiz it all up, and it should be homemade everything seasoning. Oh wow, awesome! I mean, I have no idea if that looks anything like the real thing, but it smells really, really good. Wow. If someone could actually generally tell me what you would normally, I mean, do you put that on a bagel? Do you get bagels with this on this? What is it for? When you buy it in the shop, what do you use it for? You're not sure, are you? We take some of the cream cheese, kind of like dressing a pizza. Remember, this is part of a Barry Tries playlist where I do lots of TikTok recipes, but other ones too as well, like Heston Blumenthal, Gordon Ramsay ones over the years, and I'll keep adding to that. And this is where our seasoning comes in. So apparently we take about a tablespoon, I might not even need that looking at it, and just little speckles of it, just a little layer, so it just grips. Little specks of onion and garlic and all the seeds. So we roll it up like this, take the ends off, and then we can just cut it as thick as we want. So I'm gonna go, I don't know, like an inch thick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 6 out of a wrap. But I could feel myself crushing the seeds as I went through. Can you look at that? All speckly, that's cool. So I'm gonna probably do that one more time. I don't need to make too many of these, and then they get cooked. You can either put them in an air fryer or fry them in butter. Guess which one I'm gonna do. It is a bagel, but in a much easier rolled up format, which we will fry, but it's actually time to get this out of the oven. Oh yeah, there's a little wobble there, amazing. And it is puffy. Instead of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, that is Puffy the brownie layer. So the bad news is obviously that's been baked, so it's warm, it needs to cool down to room temperature and then be refrigerated for a minimum of 3 hours, ideally overnight. So just to get through this video, we will just put it in the internet fridge, aka the freezer, just to see what it tastes like. But if you're making it, do give it that time. That is some butter we're gonna melt up for our bagel roll-ups. And that will not take long. And I'm being as quick as I can here, just to place it seam side down, so that sort of holds in place. They look a bit like sausage rolls actually. Oh, it's starting to get a little bit of colour, so I think what I'll actually do is turn them a couple of times, but you can see the difference in the colour with those two there that have been sat in the butter. Oh, there we go, look. That, nice, lightly golden brown. I'll keep doing this till they're fully browned. Oh yes, oh yes, yes, yes. They look a little bit like dog treats. Oh my goodness. They smell amazing. I think I'm gonna like this. Here we go, look at that golden brown top, the rolled cream cheese and seasoning in there. Mmm. Mmm. Oh, that is incredible. That is amazing. There is so much going on there. I think the cream cheese just kind of acts as like a warming blanket that holds it all together. There's a real nice crunch of the seeds, but the overwhelming flavour is from the onions and the garlic. Just enough. Not too bad. The butter is cheeky. Don't get me wrong, I think you could have it without it, but it's really enhanced it. Honestly, I am well impressed with that. That has totally caught me out. I mean, I love tortillas and everything that's seasoning. It all works. Very addictive. I'm so tempted to keep eating. I'm not gonna do it. So this is apparently popular at Starbucks and it's called an iced brown sugar shaken espresso. Okay, so we actually make a brown sugar syrup. Hence the brown sugar. In there you probably can't see a thing. That is some water. And then the brown sugar syrup is flavoured with a little bit of cinnamon, and that goes on at the end if we want, and some vanilla extract. So we're going to do that first. Then we've got some espresso right there, some milk, and the other thing is ice, which we'll keep in the freezer, the internet fridge, until we jolly well need it. So let's make this syrup first. Yeah, so we need to remember this is shaken, not stirred, just like sort of how James Bond has his martini. And there was a fan theory of that. Apparently if you shake a martini rather than stir it, it dilutes the alcohol more, so that was kind of, it's a complete theory, but that was how James Bond would have it, so that he was still alert to take on his enemies and stuff. So that could be a complete lie. But they're dissolving in, as you can see, and as we take this to the heat, it should dissolve even more, but we want this to thicken a bit. You can see it's quite runny. It will not take long for this amount to be in a syrup. To be honest, it does look a little bit weird. Look at that. We'll go with it though, okay? Like I say, this will not take long to warm up. I was just about to say, this is smelling really rich and intense. We need to simmer it anyway. I'll come back. Oh, I've just come back and look, that is simmering away. Oh my gosh, so we will stir this. And look, we'll just let it stop like that. I love that sight. It's close. And the whole James Bond reference was, it's a shaken espresso. So that is exactly what we're going to do. I don't generally use my cocktail shaker too often. Whoa. Well, hey, so that is going to go in this. We're going to shake it up, baby. Here we go. That is nice and thickened. It's had about 3 minutes of simmering, but that's as far as I really want to take it to. So I was going to use this, right, Tom Cruise style, but unfortunately, it goes against like what I like to show in my videos. I want to show you what is going on in there for my own sanity as well, to be honest, when I'm doing it for the first time. So I've got like a similar, actually something we use to make smoothies. It's got blades in, but that won't make it, should be all right. What I've got here is the espresso, and it's 2 shots of it, okay? I'm then gonna pour in the syrup. Look, you can see how much that has thickened. It looks like tar, but I can assure you it smells incredible. Shake for a minute until it is foamy on the top. Oh wow, that is pretty darn foamy. Look at that, I was like, foamy? Where's that gonna come from? Oh, just a real nice randomization. Like my voice is going, Awesome. Apparently, whilst it's like this, we add our first couple of ice cubes. Randomly, there was some sort of, well, cheesecake cookie dough thing in the fridge. I don't know what that is. Oh, that is proper foamy now. Now, I've got to be honest, all right? I'm not pointing at you, but last night I was getting some ingredients from the supermarket, as I do tend to go late at night when it's nice and quiet, and the ingredients can be cheaper. I rang Mrs. B. Mrs. B, have we got sesame seeds? Just want to check. Yes, we do. Amazing, because I'm learning, all right? I've learned that over the years, you don't need 800 bags of flour. I'm like, oh gosh, have we got any ice? I rang Mrs. B, and it was ringing my end, and her phone, she showed me when I got home, it wasn't actually ringing at all, so she sat here watching TV. I'm like, in the supermarket, literally 10 minutes, down the freezer aisle, next to the ice cubes going, have we got any ice cubes? Like, just wanting to find out, have we got any ice cubes? And it turns out we do. So if anyone wants, if they like the look of this, they want to come over, I've got enough ice cubes to make a blooming iceberg. Not sure where I was going with that. We load this up, which I believe is a trick that some restaurants play, so you don't actually get so much of the fluid that you've paid for. We grab our espresso syrup thing with ice already in it. Now bear in mind, there are 2 espresso shots in here, so we actually only need to add half of this mixture. Oh my gosh, that looks amazing. Look at that. We add in the milk to the top. Oh wow. Oh, that looks really cool. Look at that. Oh, maybe I will just agitate it a little bit. There we go. And then finish with a little bit of cinnamon on the top. Look at that. It smells really good, but it could taste horrendous. I'm open to that. Let's get the cheesecake bars out of the internet fridge, finish them off, and we'll have this at the same time. Oh, some of the crusts come off where I just ripped that out there. I would 100% use a loose bottom dish on that. Another thing that happened in the supermarket last night, I was in the section looking for some caramel, which you can buy in tins and bottles and stuff like that. But if you didn't know, it's actually a very similar product, sold by the same people, side by side on the shelf, and it is 10 pence cheaper to buy the other thing. You just have to boil it for a few hours. And I started to do a video and someone else walked down the aisle. I was like, yeah, this looks a bit weird. But anyhow, caramel goes on top of this. Ooh. It's telling me to slice it first, then put the sauce on, but I don't see the point in that. That's the thing with these TikTok recipes. I find that some of them are good, you just need to enhance or just change the steps a teeny bit. So that's what I'll do in the write-up, all right? Yeah, so I've just warmed that up. You might be able to see the little bubbles there. And hopefully, I might be able to just drizzle this on a little bit more control now. I quite like the idea of it being a bit warmer so you can have a, that's hot. Yeah, that is very cheeky indeed. Oh my goodness. And here we go. I mean, we could put it in the fridge, like I say, to set the caramel. I could even do the thumbnail with it in a big slab like this, but I do like the idea of just, ooh, yes. Just some little bite-sized pieces like this. Oh my gosh, look at that. Oh, you've got that cookie layer, the baked cheesecake with the Oreos in it, more Oreos, and then the caramel on top. Oh my word. Not the healthiest TikTok, I've got to admit. Well folks, I think it's fair to say we have got quite the spread today. I must admit, this doesn't look anywhere near as appealing now it's cold, but apparently it's supposed to be fine like that. So I guess we'll see, hey? Let's find out. Mmm. Ooh. They are extremely addictive. That would be amazing for a snack for lunch or a picnic, or like just something to have a holster, like a bullet belt of bagel wraps. But wow, that is honestly one of my favorite things I've made on this playlist. Ooh. Oh, that is really good. I wasn't sure what to expect. I was like, oh my gosh, is it going to be like really milky? No. Is it going to be really strong and intense from the espresso? No. Is it going to be like sugary and syrupy and too like intense? No. That is a perfect mellow, iced, chilled woof of flavour. I blooming love that. And I'm fairly certain the ingredients to make it were probably about a tenth more than getting from bar stocks. Stonking. Now, I have to be honest, out of all of these, this is the one that I was requested the most from you guys, and I really wanted to do the least, obviously because it's so nutritious, but as good as it looks, I think it might be a bit, I don't know. It's probably going to be lovely. Ooh. Oh my goodness. There is so much going on there. Actually, to the point where I don't know if I don't hate it, but that is almost too rich. And I very, very, very rarely say that, because you kind of look at that and you expect it to be that feels way too intense. The cookie dough is great. The cheesecake is nice and cold and set in the middle and held those Oreos together. You don't really get the texture of that as you bite through it. But I think it's that aggressive Oreo crust and then that caramel on top. I think that's almost too much. I don't hate it, don't get me wrong. If I hadn't had this and this before just that, I might be okay to have a bite like that. But out of the three, this is my least favourite. I'm really sorry. It should be my favourite looking at it. It really should. But that, and particularly this, has completely caught me off guard today. So thanks so much for sending them in. If you've got any other TikTok recipes you've seen, do let me know down below. And don't forget to put on your Marathon sweatband. Check out the rest of the Barry Tries playlist and indeed all the other videos on the channel. And I'll see you next time. Ciao for now.
These are good. They're really nice.
I've had two and they're so nice.
I've made Boston his very own everything bagel. I've browned it and it's got cream cheese, okay? No, there's no seasoning in it. All right, see what you think. You like that? Yes, Boston, look at that tongue. All right, pug approved.